Did you know that around 92% of people never achieve their goals? Shocking, right? For many, setting goals is like making a wish. You think it will lead to success, but for most, it leads to stress and disappointment. While goal setting can drive us forward, there's a hidden side that many people overlook. In this video, we will explore the dark side of goal setting, those sneaky traps that can derail your progress and make you feel lost. From the overwhelming burden of too many ambitions to the crippling fear of failure, these issues can sneak into your life without you even noticing. We'll dive into 6 critical chapters, revealing surprising facts and strategies to help you set goals without losing your sanity. You'll learn how to prioritize effectively, embrace the present moment, and detach your self-worth from your achievements. Get ready to uncover the truths about goal setting that nobody talks about. By the end, you'll have the tools to create a healthier relationship with your goals, leading to more joy and success in your journey. Chapter 1. The hidden trap of ambition overload. It's tempting to set as many goals as possible, right? After all, who doesn't want to be a multitasking powerhouse? But the truth is, when we set too many goals, we overload our brain. Research shows that the human brain can only focus on 3 to 5 goals at a time before it starts to lose efficiency. Trying to achieve 10 different things at once? It's a recipe for disaster. Ambition overload creates constant mental pressure, which leads to decision fatigue, a phenomenon studied by psychologist Dr. Roy Baumeister. He found that our willpower and decision-making abilities drain over time, much like a battery. So, the more goals we juggle, the quicker we deplete our mental resources. The strategy here? Prioritize. Instead of 10 goals, pick 3 that are truly important. Write them down and focus intensely on them. Psychologist Angela Duckworth, in her book Grit, emphasizes that laser-focused commitment is key to long-term success. It's better to crush 3 goals than to barely move the needle on 10. Chapter 2. The perfectionism paradox. When good enough never feels good enough. Perfectionism sounds admirable at first, but it's often the silent killer of progress. If you've ever set a goal and found yourself obsessing over every tiny detail, you're not alone. In fact, studies have shown that perfectionism is linked to increased anxiety and depression. A 2019 meta-analysis published in Psychological Bulletin found that levels of perfectionism have risen over the last 3 decades, especially among younger people. Why is this happening? Social media may be to blame. The constant comparison with others pushes us to believe that unless everything we do is flawless, it's not good enough. But perfectionism traps us in a cycle where nothing ever feels finished. Here's a strategy to break the perfectionism trap. Embrace good enough. Author and researcher Brené Brown often talks about the concept of vulnerability and how striving for perfection keeps us from making authentic progress. Set a goal to complete a task at 80%, then move on. You'll soon notice that good enough gets the job done and, more importantly, helps you avoid burnout. Chapter 3. Chasing shadows. The allure of external validation. Setting goals based on what others expect from you is one of the most common, yet rarely discussed, traps. In the age of social media, we're constantly bombarded with images of success. It can feel like the world expects you to follow the same path. This is where external validation creeps in. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research showed that people often feel more fulfilled when they pursue intrinsic goals, those motivated by internal desires, over extrinsic ones, like fame or wealth. Yet, so many of us fall into the trap of chasing goals that are designed to impress others, whether it's a fancy job title or a picture-perfect life on Instagram. Here's a unique strategy. Start asking yourself, who am I really doing this for? Write down the reasons behind each of your goals. If your answer involves making someone else happy or looking good to others, it might be time to reevaluate. Instead, set goals that resonate with your core values and passions. Daniel Pink, in his book Drive, explains that true motivation comes from autonomy, mastery, and purpose, not external rewards. If you're finding value in this video, please subscribe for more insights and strategies on personal development. Chapter 4. Sacrificing the present for a promised tomorrow. When you set goals, it's easy to get caught up in a future-focused mindset. You start to think, I'll be happy when I reach this goal. But constantly living for tomorrow can blind you to what's happening now. This isn't just a philosophical issue. it has real consequences for your mental health. Psychologists call this the arrival fallacy, a term coined by Tal Ben-Shahar in his book Happier. It's the false belief that reaching a goal will bring lasting happiness. The problem is, once we achieve our goal, the satisfaction fades quickly, and we're off chasing the next one. The solution? Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about focusing on the present moment without judgment. Studies have shown that mindfulness can reduce stress, improve focus, and increase life satisfaction. In fact, a 2018 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that mindfulness training significantly increased both happiness and productivity in participants. So, while you work toward your future goals, remember to also appreciate the now. Try journaling about what's going well today, or take 5 minutes each day to reflect on small victories. It might seem simple, but over time, this habit will make you feel more grounded and content. Chapter 5. The Fear of Failure. Why it holds you hostage. We've all heard the phrase, fail fast, fail often. But in reality, most people are terrified of failure. When you set big goals, the fear of failing can be paralyzing. You might even avoid taking risks or putting yourself out there because you're scared of messing up. Research backs this up. According to a study by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people often avoid setting ambitious goals because they fear failure. This fear can lead to procrastination or, worse, abandoning your goals altogether. The key here is to reframe how you see failure. Psychologist Carol Dweck, in her book Mindset, explains the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes failure defines you, while a growth mindset sees failure as an opportunity to learn. Shifting to a growth mindset helps you see mistakes as stepping stones, not roadblocks. A practical strategy? Set failure goals. These are goals where you actively aim to fail, such as pitching your ideas to 10 people or applying for jobs you think are out of your reach. The purpose isn't to succeed, it's to get comfortable with rejection and build resilience. The more you fail, the less you'll fear it. Chapter 6. The Identity Crisis. When goals define you, it's easy to get so wrapped up in your goals that they become your identity. If you're someone who's ambitious, you might start to define yourself by your achievements. But what happens when you don't hit your targets? You start to feel like a failure, not just in that moment, but as a person. This trap is particularly dangerous because it can lead to a deep sense of emptiness. Research by Dr. Robert Vallerand on obsessive passion shows that when we become overly attached to our goals, it leads to burnout and a decline in well-being. His study in the Journal of Personality found that people who pursued goals with obsessive passion felt more stress and less life satisfaction compared to those with harmonious passion. The solution? Detach your self-worth from your goals. You are not your achievements. A helpful exercise is to remind yourself that your value isn't tied to your performance. Try setting process-oriented goals instead of outcome-oriented ones. For example, instead of saying, "I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds, focus on the process. I'll walk for 30 minutes every day." James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, talks about the importance of identity-based habits. Focus on becoming the type of person who enjoys the process rather than just reaching the outcome. This way, you'll find fulfillment in the journey, not just the destination. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more strategies and tips on personal growth. Your journey to a healthier relationship with your goals starts here.